Scorpio, this is your reading for the week of February 28th through March 6th. Really glad that you guys could join me here. If you are joining me here, again, my viewer base is still very low right now, but I'm going to keep putting in the effort and work. I do believe that I give out pretty good messages to people, and I am offering one-on-ones, so I don't generally advertise that much, but if you are looking for a more one-on-one personal reading, I do offer those. It'll be in the link, or at least one or two links that I have to book that. So just keep that in mind. And I've already got everything shuffled. So what I'm doing this week, and probably for preceding readings after that, I'm saying this for all my videos. I am doing a really short overview of the astrology transits that are happening today, or at least at the time of recording. And so I'm looking at the luminaries, the sun and the moon. And for today only, I'm going to be going over where the sun is at until it winds up transitioning over into the next sign. It's currently in Pisces, because it'd be kind of dumb to talk about the same sun sign. Like next week, it'll still be in Pisces, and the week after that, it's still going to be in Pisces. So I'm going to more focus on the moon and its aspect to the sun. So anyway, the sun is in Pisces. We're just entering Pisces season. So this is kind of like how we outwardly express ourselves, how we show up to the world, and what kind of shines. And so what this is representing is like there's an illumination happening surrounding getting in flow with the universe, understanding deeper spiritual concepts. Pisces is ruled by Neptune. So Neptune is the planet that kind of oversees dreams, illusions, imagination, even hidden occult things, I guess, too. Scorpio is that way as well, but this is more in the realm of the dream state. So you might find yourself being a little bit more dreamy, having more vivid dreams that can hold messages for you in your current reality, and kind of understanding the messages with that. You might start finding yourself being a little bit more drawn to spiritual concepts in whatever way that shows up for you in your life. The moon is currently in Sagittarius, and it'll be there for the next day or two or something like that. It's usually in a sign for about 2 to 2.5 days. And it just transitioned from Scorpio to Sagittarius within the past 12 to 16 hours. Because right now it's in 3 degrees. Actually, let me see if it's moved a little bit. Okay, now it's in 4 degrees Sagittarius. So yeah, it hasn't been in Sagittarius that long. The moon represents our emotional needs and desires and how we can be emotionally fulfilled and satisfied. With Sagittarius is more of an adventurous, goal-driven type. So you might find yourself being a little more driven to expanding concepts, expanding on goals or your vision. Kind of like these ideas that are coming to surface that feel passionate and driven. It's also like to be a little bit more emotionally fulfilled. You might find yourself being drawn towards going out and having some kind of adventure, because Sagittarius loves to get out and do things. It likes to be bold. It likes to get out and be adventurous. It's not really spontaneous in that aspect, but I guess in some ways it could be. But it's just more of like having an idea and kind of like banking on that idea and expanding upon it. But the thing is the moon right now is squaring up to the sun. So the side of yourself may be a little bit challenging to get out, expressing your emotional needs in relation to what Sagittarius represents. Because a square aspect is generally something a little more challenging. You know, when you're squaring up with someone or something, there's conflict and there's resistance. So this resistance to expressing your emotional needs might be a little bit harder, but not impossible. So just keep that in mind. That's like an overview. I'm going to try not to hit the table too much, because I keep hitting the table and I play back the videos and then all you hear is, yeah, you probably heard that. I just wanted to give you an example. So if I keep doing that, I'm really sorry. I have the microphone on the table, and I might have to change that up though, because I don't like that sound anyway. But moving on. Overall essence, we have the deception and envy. Definitely one of the more negative cards that I've had for this batch of readings for today. So basically what this is saying is, and I'm getting two sides of the same coin here, both deception and envy. The energy surrounding going into next week, you might wind up finding yourself being a little envious of other people and their lives and what they have, which can bring up feelings of jealousy, which can obviously in itself be challenging. So if you do find yourself being that way or currently are that way, it's a call to kind of recenter yourself and understand that you can have whatever anybody else has, and jealousy is generally something that you want that you don't have that someone else has. And the key to that is it's something that you want and desire. So if it's something that you want and desire, start putting in action towards doing that or obtaining that. On the other hand, the deception part is talking about you might find yourself being around certain people that may not have your best interest at heart. And so if you do wind up seeing someone who is envious or deceitful towards you moving into next week or moving on, definitely take a look at that and reevaluate the situation, because you may have to let that person go or enforce certain clear boundaries. Yeah, because it looks like here, in the recent past, we have movement, choices, decisions, and supported by the throat chakra. So you definitely had to, it definitely seems like you've had to make a decision in regards to speaking your truth, or maybe even, enforcing your boundaries. Because I feel like when it talks about speaking your truth, it definitely talks about enforcing boundaries whenever someone is trying to step on you or trying to step over you. If it's not that, the other part of the message I'm getting for other people is that this decision or choice that you've had to make moving forward, it had to come through communication, whether it's communication from someone else or communication with someone else initiated by you. All right, current energy moving into the week, we have prosperity begins and power. Yeah, so these great combination to have here. So what this is telling me is that like you may be coming into some sort of opportunity or like a financial gain, material gain, something that's going to be beginning here in the physical sense that's going to give you a little bit more power and courage to move through life. I mean, especially if it's related to finances, if you're receiving something, that actually makes you feel more empowered, right? With finances, like the more money you get, the more empowered you feel. It's an energy exchange like anything else. So that's probably really awesome to have. So be on the lookout for anything coming to you in the form of material financial assets. It's going to make you feel good. All right. What's coming in the future cards is triumph and conflict and defeat. All right. So what I'm getting with these two cards, all right, I'm going to try and show you them without the glare. I gotta kind of angle them a little bit. Yeah, so what this is saying, so this is the card that's supporting this card. And so what I'm feeling from this is you may have actually been going through a period where you may have felt a little bit defeated. And what this is saying is that with this triumph card coming out, you are moving forward and moving ahead. You've made an important decision, because before this card was the Lover's card, which entails making a decision. A pretty major decision, and the Triumph card, which is equivalent to the Chariot, is saying like, okay, now you're moving forward, you're taking the reins, and it's like you are coming into your own power and control. And now it's like, now you can finally move ahead in life, moving on from where you currently were, out of this conflict and defeat energy. That's the support card here, is like you've been feeling this way, like something just wasn't going your way, you felt like you were getting nowhere, and now it's like, bam, this is movement. I'm sure that's going to make sense for someone. Two of Cups. Yeah, okay. Sorry, sometimes like I have to stop for a second and like look at it. I'm like, okay, so that makes a lot of sense. I gotta, kind of formulate my mind a little bit. So we have the Two of Cups, or movement, choices, decision, and the throat chakra. So what this is telling me is like this was something that had some sort of tie or connection to some sort of relational connection of yours, something to do with love even, and not love strictly with intimacy, but just some kind of special connection that you have with another person. that you've definitely had to make a decision with or for, and it had to, like, there was communication involved. It entailed you speaking up and speaking with your voice. Sometimes I can't talk and get out the information. The King of Pentacles, prosperity begins in power. Oh yeah, so the King of Pentacles to me represents maybe a business idea or a business venture. This is the power that you're feeling. Actually, you're feeling more empowered to start something new. The King of Pentacles is like someone who is very business oriented. He has the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding, and the drive to be able to attain material prosperity. And he's very stable in his approach. So it is talking about working towards this new beginning that's coming in for you, that's going to help you feel more empowered and stable within your material assets. Great message there. All right, triumph, conflict, and defeat. Over that, we have the moon. So yeah, it looks like you've been working through some fears, some subconscious programming even. Things that have been kind of like holding you back and kind of hidden. Our subconscious processes generally account for about 95% of our daily habits. And so if you are, going through life motionless and unconscious, that's what's going to run. That program that you've been programmed with is going to run basically 95% of your life. So what this card is saying is that you've been it's taking a deep dive within yourself, being more introspective, uncovering emotions and fears, and even certain ideas that have been holding you back, because you're moving forward. It's like you're getting out of this cycle, this stuck energy, and it's like, okay, now I can actually go forward with my life. Cool message. This is one of my favorite readings for today so far, which actually it's my last reading for today. So there's that. Yeah, you got some choices on the horizon. Okay. Choices. When you accept responsibility for your life and the choices you make, you begin to tap into the power of your own spirit. You'll be able to listen to and appreciate the intuitive wisdom that's inside you and apply it positively and constructively to your outside world. So this to me just tells me that you do have doors opening up for you, and there's generally just there's that one door that has like the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's like you're going to be stepping through that, and you just have to make that choice to do so. Get out of your comfort zone. Don't allow any fears that might be surfacing to kind of hold you back. Understand that you are being guided to change your inside world so that your outside world can change along with it. When you shift internally, energetically speaking, your external reality is going to change along with it. And the best example in a more practical sense I can give is when you finally realize something that has been stuck, or an idea or a thought pattern or behavior, generally associated with thought, that you've been kind of doing over and over and over again, which the moon represents this. It's like the subconscious programming that we've been holding on to. When that comes to light and you start realizing that this part of yourself has been doing the same thing over and over again, you've been playing out the same program and your reality's been the same for a while now. You realize that, and now you can start making the awareness of that thought pattern is what helps bring in change. Because when you change your thoughts and you start locking on to different kinds of thoughts, your behaviors start changing because your DNA starts changing. A good biologist that I follow and wasn't really mentored, but he is part of the school that I went to. He talks about how protein synthesis is actually what creates behavior. Proteins can change shape and form, and when they change shape and form, that's what kind of breathes life into the different cells of the body, especially muscle cells, and how your body creates certain enzymes and stuff like that, and digestion, but also movement. I say muscle cells because that's what creates movement, on top of the electrical impulses. So if you're wanting to move in a different direction, that's what that's saying. So doors are going to be open up for you, and you're going to wind up changing certain habits, and your thought patterns go along with that. Forgiveness. Holding on to resentment and anger is preventing or even suffocating your spiritual growth. Resentment is one of the strongest and most damaging of human emotions. The act of forgiveness in its own right is equally incredibly powerful, and it has the capacity to heal and transform. So if any of you have been kind of holding on to something that you need to forgive for, whether it's for yourself, a past situation, or someone has done something wrong to you, or a corporation or anything like that. Harboring those negative emotions is definitely going to not only affect your health, but also your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, and even your spiritual health too. Forgiveness is a very high vibrational energy. And when you can forgive someone else, you are releasing your attachment to that emotion that has been filling you up on the inside. So if there's any forgivenesses that need to be happening during your life right now, this is a confirmation to go ahead and do it. Understand it. You don't have to forget it. You don't have to, that's not excusing them or whatever it was for the actions, but it's just saying that, you had that experience and understand it for what it is and forgive it and be able to move on with your life. That's the best thing that you can do for yourself. Last two cards here, we have the Crystal Skull Wisdom. This is very high vibrational energy, by the way. Clarity, divine healing, high vibrational energy. That's funny I said that. The Crystal Skull represents like divine energy, like pure divine energy that you might wind up receiving information. The high vibrational energy part down here is talking about you receiving information that is going to help clarify where to move forward to and kind of get more in alignment with your intuition. Because I'm very much drawn to the indigo / violet colors of this. That's very higher wisdom energy. And so, if you start gaining more clarity through an intuitive nudge or higher, almost like epiphanies in some way, definitely go with it and understand that that's coming to you. Like you're going to be gaining clarity in some sense from this higher vibrational universal energy. Because, there's a resolution at hand in regards to some sort of relationship, Pleiadian activation, coming together, harmony in the heavens, and resolution. Emotionally, Pleiadians have a very big tie to emotion and love. And so it's talking about something's coming together here that's going to be resolved for you, and it generally in regards to emotion, love, or some kind of connection like with relationship. So you definitely have a support team on the other side that's helping you bring these things together, spiritually speaking. So there's a lot of healing involved with what's happening in your life right now, especially if there's forgiveness. And it could be pertaining to family or just some kind of important connection with you. Yeah. So like I said, my readings can get pretty deep. I like it that way because I want people to grow and evolve and move past their limitations and understand life for what it is. Everything's not always sunshine and rainbows. I know as a Scorpio, you outwardly cherish relationships and deep connections. And yeah, so anyway, Scorpio, hopefully you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, share, and or subscribe. I am trying to expand myself. And I appreciate all the support that I've gotten so far. Hasn't been a whole lot yet, but I have gotten support so far. And I will see you in the next one. Have a good one.